My roommate has double standards. He won't let anyone sit on his bed, but allows me to sleep there. He refuses drinks from others but steals my water bottle. I thought this was how close friends acted in the city, until rumors started spreading that we were dating. I began avoiding him, but he cornered me against the wall. Biting my bleeding lip, he growled, "Ethan Miller, try avoiding me again." Chase Johnson, heir to the Johnson family fortune. 6 feet 3 inches. Handsome. Germaphobe with a temper. That's how others describe him. But he's different with me. His bed becomes my napping spot. My half-empty water bottle becomes his to claim. His legendary patience seems reserved solely for me. I believed this was normal city friendship. Until Luke Thompson asked, "Ethan, are you and Chase dating?" "Dating? Can men do that?" I blinked. "Of course. Where have you been living?" Luke stared like I'd grown antlers. "The countryside," I admitted. My village never mentioned such things. Honestly, everything about S-City amazed me. Skyscrapers brushing clouds. Stores overflowing with goods without needing Uncle Air's rickety tricycle. On arrival day, dazzled by neon lights, I crashed into Chase's crew outside campus. My muddy shoe print decorated his limited edition sneakers. His friend shoved me. "Watch where you're going." "Hick." "Clean Chase's shoes." I dropped to my knees. Chase hauled me up. "Forget it." His gaze swept over my overstuffed luggage. "Need help moving in?" "No, I'm okay," I stammered. "Relax. We're free." He snapped fingers. Suddenly my bags vanished into his friend's arms. Helplessly empty-handed, I watched Chase arch an eyebrow. "Unless you want to camp here all day." "Building 4. Room 512. I surrendered. They marched toward Building 5. Panicking, I tugged Chase's sleeve. "That's the wrong building. Building 4's full." He deadpanned. Admissions office moved everyone to Building 5. Thus began my roommate life with Chase. Instead of the awkward coexistence I feared, we became inseparable. I counted myself lucky until Luke's warning. "We're just friends." I insisted. Luke snorted. "Seen Chase share his bed with anyone else? His decade-long buddies can't touch his water bottle." "Why you?" My silence fueled his smirk. "Ethan, friendly advice: stay away from Chase. The Johnsons play in leagues you can't afford." Evening. After showering, I stepped out to find Chase had already saved a spot for me on his bed. I paused by the lower bunk when he yanked me over, forcing me to sit between his legs. Snatching my towel, he began roughly drying my hair. Our roommates didn't even blink. This had become routine. Yet Luke's words kept clawing at my mind. Biting my lip, I finally said, "Chase, I think I should sleep alone from now on." The room plunged into silence. Even the gaming rage from across the room died mid-curse. Only the whirring fan and AC hummed in the sudden void. Chase froze, then gripped my face with calloused hands. His storm cloud eyes narrowed dangerously. "Who's been talking shit?" I shook my head, avoiding Luke's name. "It's not appropriate. And I can dry my own hair. Do things myself." My voice trailed off as I stared at the floor. Chase's jaw tightened like a predator scenting blood. This wasn't the tempered guy everyone claimed emerged after we became close. His glacial stare made my pulse race. When I timidly reached for my towel, he shackled both wrists with one hand while aggressively toweling my scalp with the other. The damp towel hit the desk with a wet slap before he dragged me into the suffocating cocoon of his bunk. I squirmed against his ironclad embrace. "Don't." His voice iced over. "I'm pissed enough without you wriggling." I froze. Sleep didn't come until dawn's first light. By noon, I awoke to Chase's thunderous expression and split lip. He shoved a takeout container at me. Complied, not daring to provoke him further. The afternoon revealed his sparring partner Luke sat battered at his desk, venomous eyes tracking my every move. He probably thought I'd snitched. If only. At least then Chase wouldn't be radiating lethal vibes that kept me glued to his shadow. Come evening, I faced my dilemma post-shower. Ignoring his bunk risked Luke-level punishment, but crawling back would negate my earlier stance. Towel drying my hair, I hesitated at the latter. Chase lounged spinning his phone, gaze locked like a panther eyeing prey. Without his rare smiles, his sharp features looked downright murderous. Though only 8 p.m., Our sleeping roommate's covert stares prickled my neck. My hand barely grazed the ladder rail when Chase's glare turned lethal. I pivoted toward his bunk. His posture relaxed the instant I slid in. Before I could settle, he crushed me against his chest, nuzzling my ear with rough affection. I twitched away. Sharp teeth sank into my earlobe. "Don't you fucking dare," he growled. I silently turned back. He seemed satisfied and resumed licking the earlobe he'd just bitten. The sensation sent electric currents through my body, making me tremble uncontrollably, yet I dared not turn away. When he finally stopped, I released the tension I'd been holding. His lips brushed my ear with a gravelly whisper. "Good thing you're not on the top bunk, otherwise." His hand trailed over my waist, kneading deliberately, though unfinished. The threat in his words made me shake like autumn leaves. After slowly withdrawing his hand, he tucked the blanket around me. I didn't dare ask about the unspoken consequences. Some instinct warned me they'd be beyond endurance. 3 days later, Chase appeared to have forgotten the incident, though his behavior carried new undertones. His hands wandered frequently, stopping only when my trembling became pronounced. During these days, I occasionally crossed paths with Luke. He'd immediately lower his head and hurry past whenever he saw me. No doubt Chase had warned him to keep distance. I unscrewed my water bottle, taking a cautious sip. Previously, when I'd brought 2 bottles to his basketball game, Chase had deliberately chosen the one I'd drunk from. Now I'd learned to preemptively take a sip before handing him any bottle. During halftime, Chase strode toward me through screaming fans. "Chase is so hot." A girl nearby squealed as he lifted his jersey to wipe sweat off his abs, extending his hand expectantly. Our fingers brushed during the water handoff. "They look perfect together," someone remarked loudly. As surrounding eyes turned judgmental, I jerked my hand back. Chase's expression darkened instantly. True to form, he captured my retreating hand, interlacing our fingers around the bottle as he drank defiantly before the crowd. Our knuckles whitened in mutual struggle, his obsidian eyes blazing with barely contained fury. The second half saw Chase play with brutal intensity. Dread pooled in my stomach. Tonight would be rough. After showers, he pinned me beneath him, roaming hands igniting trails of fire. "Don't, please," I begged softly. My resistance only heightened his aggression, fingertips leaving stinging welts across my torso. "Don't what?" His whiskey-rough murmur against my ear contradicted the sudden gentleness of his touch. Though the curtain around Chase's bed provided visual privacy, every sound carried in the dorm room. I bit my lip bloody when his movements slowed to torturous caresses, knowing my trembling breaths were audible to our roommates just feet away. He kept rubbing, and his hand started moving downward. I immediately grabbed his wrist. "Don't," I pleaded nervously, twisting around to look at him with desperate eyes, begging him to stop. "We're both guys. Can't touch below the waist?" I shook my head frantically, cold sweat breaking out across my skin from sheer panic. Chase gently stroked my hair, his deceptively soft voice carrying an undercurrent of danger. "Then let me kiss you instead." His hungry gaze locked onto my lips, raw desire swirling in his eyes like dark storm clouds. "And no, you can't. That's weird," I stammered, turning my face away. His breathing turned ragged as he forcefully pushed his hand into my pants. "Then we'll keep going." My fingers dug into his arm as tears welled up, my voice cracking. "Stop, Chase, please don't." He froze, looking at me with unsettling tenderness. "Why the tears? I'm not hurting you." Wiping my cheeks, he pressed my face against his chest. "Still planning to avoid me?" I shook my head violently. Chase lifted my hand, pressing his lips to my palm before dragging his tongue between my fingers, across the sensitive flesh. An involuntary shiver ran through me. "Stay still if you want this to end," he growled hoarsely. Paralyzed, I endured until he finished by lightly biting my damp hand before retreating to the bathroom. Examining the saliva-glazed skin, it reminded me of a dog marking territory, claiming ownership through scent. From Luke's previous hints and Chase's recent behavior, the truth became obvious. Chase's obsession carried disturbing intensity, his possessiveness tipping into dangerous fixation. I didn't know how to handle this twisted affection, but provoking him seemed unwise. Survival meant playing along. For now. Sighing, I tightened my belt into a secure knot before drifting into uneasy sleep. When morning came, the intricate knot lay untied. My panicked glance found Chase calmly reading, showing no reaction. Perhaps I'd unconsciously loosened it during sleep? That evening, Mom called. Remember our neighbor's daughter Julia? The one they joked about being your childhood bride? She's starting at your university. Help her move in during freshman orientation. After hanging up, anxiety gripped me. Chase hated me interacting with others. Better inform him. But his sudden announcement cut through my thoughts. I'm flying to Country M for 4 days. Perfect timing, he'd never know about Julia. Okay. I nodded. Chase pulled me into a crushing embrace. Damn separation. Come with me. I've got work. Fine, he muttered, disappointment weighing his words. When I met Julia at the station, she struggled with oversized luggage. After settling her dorm things, we toured campus. City S is overwhelming. She marveled. Yeah, completely different from home. I agreed. Our shared roots sparked endless conversation. Laughter flowing easily, a dangerous comfort Chase would never permit. That night, after walking Julia back to the dorm, Chase Johnson's call came through. He snarled through the phone. Who the hell was that girl? I've barely been gone 24 hours and you're already cozying up to some chick? She's just a childhood friend from the village. I hurriedly reassured him. Friend? His voice turned venomous. You were laughing like fucking newlyweds. Cut the bullshit. Stay the hell away from her until I get back. Ethan, or I swear to God I'll ruin her. Test me, see what happens when you really piss me off. Chase, stop this. Anger surged through me. Both Julia and I had clawed our way out of those remote mountains through sheer academic grit. In our village, girls her age were already raising babies unless they were top scholars. Chase could obliterate years of struggle with a snap of his privileged fingers. Stop what? His voice cracked. You know I'm crazy about you. So you think you can walk all over me? That I'll just take whatever shit you dish out? Tears pricked my eyes. You don't love me. You just want to control me. I'm just your fucking plaything. The words hung heavy between us, and I instantly regretted them. Chase had been my lifeline since arriving in this alien world. He'd patiently taught me to use smartphones and computers without mockery, introduced me to 3D movies and airport security lines, even stood up to classmates snickering at my accented English. When malnutrition left me frail, he hired a nutritionist. During my pneumonia scare last winter, he'd camped out in that sterile hospital room for 3 straight days. I didn't mean it like that, I stammered. Let me explain. A hollow laugh cut me off. Save it. His voice turned arctic. You're right, just a replaceable toy. Have fun with your little peasant princess. The line went dead. 17 failed callbacks later. The robotic subscriber unavailable message confirmed what I already knew. This fracture might never mend. My chest constricted like someone had replaced my lungs with concrete. Our friendship had weathered countless storms. Chase tolerated my stubborn independence about everything except skipping meals or avoiding him. We'd only fought once before, during that terrifying bout of pneumonia last year. You canceled my shift? I'd yelled when he told me he'd called my diner job. That minimum wage gig kept me afloat. Without it, I couldn't pay tuition. I need that money. Are you insane? He'd shot back, gesturing at the 4 in my arm. You were cooking at 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Just ask me for help. For Christ's sake. It's not your decision. I screamed. Stay out of my life. He'd slammed the door so hard the heart monitor flatlined. Later, a nurse told me how he'd badgered the medical staff every 30 minutes during my fever crisis, how he'd vigilantly monitored my 4 bags through the night. That boy didn't touch his phone once. She'd marveled. Just kept adjusting your blankets. Now, staring at my dark phone screen, acid regret burned my throat. Chase had seen me through every bewildering first elevator ride, first sushi attempt, first time using tampons. He'd transformed from arrogant rich kid to my human security blanket, and I just shattered that bond with careless words. The silence between us now felt louder than any argument. The more I thought about it, the worse I felt about my behavior. I immediately grabbed my phone and called Chase Johnson. After hanging up twice, he finally answered on the 3rd ring but remained silent. I didn't mean to say those things earlier. I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? Chase's voice carried restrained anger. Weren't you just telling me to stay out of your business? I was wrong. I whispered. Are you staying at the hospital tonight? Yes. With a cold snort, Chase said gruffly, I'm buying fruit here. What do you want? Don't even think about refusing. I'll end you if you don't eat. That remained our only major fight. Even during that explosive argument, he'd still given me space to explain, never truly intending to stay angry. But now, Chase wasn't answering calls or texts. He'd genuinely cut me off. Back in the dorm, I sat on my bed deliberating. If Chase really wanted nothing to do with me, sharing living quarters would become unbearable. That evening, I requested a room change from our RA. My good behavior record earned quick approval. By afternoon, I was packing. My roommate stared wide-eyed, stammering, Ethan Miller, does CJ know you're moving out? He didn't, but I figured my absence would be his preference anyway. I nodded. My roommate's jaw dropped comically. Seriously? You should tell him first. With CJ's temper, reality struck. Chase could floor me with one punch. If he returned in 2 days to find me still here, I sped up packing. He knows. The new room housed one occupant, a hulking man covered in garish tattoos. I greeted him cautiously while making my bed. He suddenly stomped on my mattress. Weren't you CJ's lapdog? Joined at the hip. Did he dump you? This doesn't concern you. I snapped, pushing his foot away. He pinned me down with a grotesque grin. Heard you and CJ were close. Must have had special talents to last 2 years. His slimy gaze raked over me. How about trying me instead? I'll pay better than Johnson ever did. And the slap echoed through the room. His head whipped sideways. I remembered Chase's words. If anyone messes with you, fight back. They won't dare touch what's mine. But now, you little shit. The brute raised his meaty hand. I braced for impact. A pained scream erupted. Chase Johnson was methodically pummeling the creep, each punch landing with brutal precision. The man slumped unconscious as CJ's fist rose again, knuckles bloodied but eyes blazing with primal fury. I snapped back to reality and frantically wrapped my arms around Chase Johnson, dragging him away. Stop! You'll kill him! Chase! Hearing my voice, the tension drained from his muscles instantly. His dark eyes raked over me as he demanded, Where are you hurt? Nowhere. I shook my head. Chase exhaled sharply, ignoring the moaning man on the ground to grip my hand. He marched us straight to the university couple's recognized makeout spot, the secluded grove. My fingers trembled in his grasp. Why had he come after ghosting my calls? Yet relief flooded me. Without his intervention, I didn't want to imagine. Wordlessly, Chase guided me deep into the shadowed trees until we hit the perimeter wall. Before I could question him, he pinned me against the cold bricks. His calloused palm cradled my neck as he tilted my face up, then crushed his lips against mine with a fierce possessiveness. The kiss stole my breath, my vision blurring until he finally released me. I sagged against him, lungs burning. Just as oxygen returned, he reclaimed my mouth. This punishing cycle continued until I gasped against his lips. Enough. Please, Chase. I surrender. His thumb brushed my swollen mouth, the sting bringing involuntary tears. CJ. I whispered through the ache. I'm truly sorry. Explain. His neutral tone gave nothing away. I shouldn't have called myself your plaything. Shouldn't have changed dorms without telling you. Shouldn't let other girls get close. The confession tumbled out. His fingers threaded through my hair. Let me take charge? Yes. I breathed. Only you. That creep's touch had made my skin crawl, but Chase's dominance sparked different tremors. The thrilling kind that left me boneless. Moonlight softened his angular features. Just as I relaxed, he added, What else? I froze. His gaze turned stormy as I stammered. Don't know. Really? A humorless laugh escaped him. The night you knotted your sweatpants like Fort Knox? Thought I wouldn't notice? My cheeks burned. So he had been the one to undo them. Why didn't you say anything? I managed weakly. By what right? He stepped back, cold air replacing his warmth. Wear snow boots in July for all I care. Blow dry your own hair. Not my problem. Panicked? I clung to his retreating form. I need you. He spun me into his arms, triumph glittering in his eyes. As what exactly? Heat flooded my face. Boyfriend. I mumbled into his shirt. Louder. His lips brushed my temple. Unless you're having second. Boyfriend. The word echoed through the trees. You're my boyfriend. Chase's smile could have outshone the moon. That's my girl. His kiss this time held promise rather than punishment. Later, as we retrieved my dorm belongings, I eyed the blood-stained pavement. Will there be trouble? Chase simply laced our fingers tighter. Let the world come. He'd burn it down before letting anything touch me again. He comfortingly smiled at me. Don't worry, he won't appear before you anymore. I shook my head. That's not what I meant. Will this affect you? Chase raised an eyebrow, his lips curling uncontrollably. So worried about me? Huh? When I nodded honestly, it made him laugh. Relax. He wouldn't dare. There's plenty of material to use against him. Initially thinking Chase was just comforting me, I later realized it wasn't empty reassurance. 2 days later, the boy's parents came to withdraw him from school. When I returned to the dorm, roommates silently noted my swollen lips. I stared awkwardly at my feet until Chase chuckled. Why be shy? Everyone knows I've been treating you like my wife. Only you remained clueless, still seeing me as just a friend. He suddenly grew thoughtful. Should I send Luke a thank you gift? Though he's vicious and foul-mouthed, without his interference, you'd probably still think we're just buddies. Mentioning Luke reminded me of his final words, dampening my mood. Noticing this, Chase asked, Don't like him? I can beat him up again tomorrow. I forced a smile. It's not that. Will your parents accept me? He visibly relaxed. That's all? I told them I'd fallen for a guy when we first met. They've known about you for years. His voice softened. For parents with a son who's severely obsessive-compulsive and bad-tempered, finding someone who can tolerate me is a miracle. They'd thank their lucky stars anyone would put up with me. Though he spoke lightly, my chest felt heavy. My parents, it won't be easy. They don't understand same-sex relationships either. Even with my older brother, they believe all sons must marry women and continue the family line. I urgently added, but I don't regret being with you. I just need you to know the road ahead might be rough. Will you walk it with me? He kissed my forehead. Of course. Getting your parents' approval is my responsibility. I'm the one who led their son down this path. Trust me, I'll make it happen. I squeezed his hand. Together. After moving off campus to an apartment near school, our public displays of affection became routine. We'd hold hands through campus gates, the picture-perfect couple, until spotting Luke made me instinctively pull away. Chase's face darkened instantly. I mentally groaned, another long night of making up ahead. During summer break, I brought Chase home. When I came out to my parents that night, their vehement opposition made daily interactions frosty. Undeterred, Chase cooked, cleaned, farmed, bought furniture and supplements, escorted them shopping, and lost every mahjong game intentionally. He even charmed the village gossip squad with snacks and conversations. By summer's end, the entire village adored him. My parents finally relented. Chase spun me around like an ecstatic child before we collapsed laughing in the grass. Fingers intertwined beneath starlight. I love you so damn much, Ethan, he whispered. Smiling, I echoed, I love you too. His lips curved mischievously. Then marry me. Fireworks suddenly illuminated the sky. Kneeling in the glittering darkness with roses and ring, Chase shouted over explosions. Ethan Miller, will you marry me? Tears blurring the pyrotechnics. I yelled back, yes. Our passionate kiss conveyed what words couldn't. Two teenagers' love, needing no grand declarations. Every glance and stolen kiss speaking volumes.